Golf Central on YouTube is brought to you by the new Chrome Tour golf ball from Callaway.
Lydia, we got to see you out on the golf course today, getting all your preparations underway. What's it like being back at Sahalee for another KPMG Women's PGA Championship?
One, I feel old that now I'm returning to these golf courses that I've played before. But yeah, definitely great to come back to a golf course where I know I've played well at. We had such beautiful weather today, so it was nice to kind of take the whole golf course in. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I don't remember all of the holes, to be honest. I remember, a few here and there. But in ways, I think it's good to sometimes not remember it because, you're trying to be more focused and more on it and see, how you need to play the hole right now. I feel like my game has changed. I'm hitting a little longer than I did in 2016, so my lines off the tee is also a bit different. But great to be here in Seattle at Sahalee.
Well, I mean, last time you were here, you were a teenager. Now you're this old married woman. So much has happened since then. How have you really seen your game, grow and develop since you were here in 2016?
Yeah, I feel like, some things may have been better when I was a teenager, but I do feel like the experience and those kind of things you can't really, nobody can take that away from you, whether it's like technique and all, you can always work to, be better and keep improving, but experience and you being in certain situations, that comes once and, that's in your memory bank. Sometimes my body feels it, when I'm playing consecutive rounds. So, I am realizing that I am not an 18-year-old playing out on tour anymore. But at heart, I feel like I'm still 18 and, just enjoying my time out here. And as much as I think things have changed and, generations have changed, there are things that are quite similar from then as well, so I can kind of draw back on that.
Lydia, you've had a little bit of time off since the U.S. Women's Open. What have you been working on to get ready for this week?
Yeah, as much as I would have loved to have played on the weekend at the U.S. Women's Open, there was a lot of things I could take away from that, especially in the swing. What are the, couple key points that I really need to focus on that will kind of create the type of shot shape that I want. And it was just great that my coaches were there and we were all on the same page and knew what direction to go to. Whereas I feel like in the past there have been positions where I'm making cuts and it's good, but you're not really sure exactly what you need to work on to be better. But I had a lot of clarity after that week, so worked on that for the past couple weeks and enjoyed some time off. And normally from middle of June to middle of late August is our kind of big stretch of events, especially with the Olympics this year. So trying to keep my energy levels up and, keep progressing. And I feel like I'm in a better position now than at the U.S. Women's Open, which is definitely a good mindset and place to be heading into this week.
You mentioned the memory bank. Take us back to 2016 in the playoff here with Brooke Henderson. Of course, not the ultimate result that you would have wished for, but such a great week for you overall. Describe what that experience was like.
Yeah, I think that I hadn't really been in contention at majors that often. I'd actually won the last two majors that I had played coming into the week, but it wasn't like, oh, I know what this feeling is like. I missed a short one on the 71st hole for birdie that ended up making me go into a playoff. But I think at that time I was upset. If I said I didn't cry, I would be lying. I was upset because I felt like a 3-footer that should be easy. But, there are a lot of things down the line. And when I look at some of Brooke's highlights, it was unbelievable golf she played. And I'm pretty sure Aria, Brooke, and I all had bogey-free rounds on that last day. So going into that day, if somebody said, hey, you're going to shoot this number and make no bogeys, I would have said, okay, count me in, no matter what position I would have finished in. So I think at the time, it's sometimes hard to take in that situation and what you have to face with. But, looking back at it now, that was one of my best finishes here at this event. And it's cool to come back here and hopefully I can revenge on some of those feelings. But, that shot that Brooke hit to to like a foot or like 2 feet on that last hole in the first playoff hole was impressive. And I don't think it does matter if you've played on tour for 20 years or for 1 year, like being in that kind of position and her hitting a shot like that, that just showed what a deserving winner she was.
Your career, you've had these just amazing comebacks, and you're just so resilient. Like you started off as a teenager, you know, winning everything, and then you're kind of takes a little bit of a lull, and then you come back, and like 2022, you had this amazing year, Player of the Year, you know, multiple-time winner, and then 2023 didn't have the season you really wanted, but then towards the end of it, you know, Grant Thornton Invitational, you won. How are you able to do that? How are you able to come back with such a great attitude and make it happen? Be able to come back and win and be a world #1 Player of the Year again?
Honestly, you know, I had this conversation with my sister last year where I was really struggling. I had missed another cut in Portland, and I said, I am really unsure if I'm ever gonna be able to win again. Like, I'm sure that was the feeling I got when I won in Hawaii for the first time in 3 years. But you know, golf is a crazy game. You know, you shoot 65 and the next day you shoot 75, and you're like, not much was different between the 2 rounds. And it's very easy for you to fall down the train of not knowing if you're ever going to be able to compete at a very high level. I've been very fortunate to surround myself with such a great team and supportive family that has helped me throughout the journey. And I feel like, especially my family, we have all grown so much during this time, whereas maybe when I first came on tour, it may have felt easy and looked easy, even though it never was easy. I think like having those ups and downs made us all realize that, you know what, it's never been easy, but sometimes we take these good moments for granted. And now I'm very grateful for the year I had in 22, which obviously set up this opportunity for being in the Hall of Fame, which that too, I didn't think I was Hall of Fame worthy, and you know, now I have this opportunity. And you know, last year was tough, but you know, to be able to win, you know, at my home club at Lake Nona to start the year, I think being 1 point away is a lot easier than being 2 points. And actually, Amy Alcott, she called me a couple weeks ago and said she was in that position of being in the Hall of Fame, and at that time, the requirement, she hadn't met it, but they changed the rules, and now she was in. And she said she understands the feeling of like being close, but like you aren't in. And it was just great to talk to somebody like her, and you know, some of the other legends like Nancy and Meg and Beth that have come and like given me so much support. So I'm honestly like enjoying this journey, and I want to play at the highest level I can while I am playing. And you know, if it's meant to happen, it's going to happen. But to me, my goal is not to just be in the Hall of Fame, but to be able to win as many times as I can while I am still playing.
Well, you have given us so many amazing moments, and we will continue to watch those incredible moments for as long as you want to have them. We'll always be such great big fans of yours, and best of luck as you try to conquer these hallways, Lydia. We really appreciate
It's a hallway.
It's a hallway. So hallway, okay. Well, if you want to watch Lydia Ko take on Hallway, she's going to be teeing off at 4:39 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow.